some more progress. It's pretty cool. I asked that there be some room for sort of, shall we say, if I change my mind on certain pedals and things like that. So as you guys know, some pedals have the power on the top, some have the jacks on the top, and then some have everything on the sides. So what they've done here is put these little cable ties on, and that's running the power right now. And also for the audio, there's going to be room. Anyway, the point being that there can be a little bit of slack in these cables, and then I can pull it underneath so it's tight. But then if I need to move the power around, say to the top when it was on the side or vice versa, I can just cinch up the power here and kind of tuck the excess underneath. So that's a pretty nice way to do that. So some of the audio's been done, and you can see on these jacks there's really nice labels, and they're really short and compact. Who makes these? These are Providence? Or?
Switchcraft 380s.
Okay, so these are Switchcraft 380 jacks, and you can see there's nice labels with heat shrink around them to keep the labels on. In case there's ever got to be any servicing done, things unplugged, it's all labeled. Super cool. And then what are these little jacks? The little square guys.
Those are the new. They're square plugs. They're called.
Okay.
It's a new company that came out, and the pretty much the lowest profile jack you can get.
Really cool. Like for small tight spaces, they're incredible. You can really really fit more stuff on a smaller board using these. It's just the name of the game, I guess. It's pretty cool. So we're getting there. Getting pretty close. So a couple people have been asking me why I chose this switcher. They were mentioning other switchers like the RJM and the Gig Rig G2, which are both great. I'm sure I haven't actually checked out the Gig Rig, but I met Dan at GetCon. It was really cool to meet him, and I know he does meticulous work. I think his switcher is much bigger than this. Like Dave Friedman, I was just talking to him about this. This is the smallest sort of full-featured switcher on the market that allows you to switch and reorder loops and things like that, as well as like the switchable outputs, AB outputs, and all that kind of stuff. Somebody else asked why I'm not utilizing the space under the shelf. Well, you can see that we are. It's like there's a noise gate under there that is in loop 5 with this Rockway Archer pedal. Sorry, right here. And if I really want to push up the sliders on that, it can get a bit noisy, so I'm using the little gate for that. And I want to be able to see these cables, like, so the shelf will come to here, right about where my hand is. And you know, if there's something wrong, or you got to get to a cable or something gets pulled out somehow, you don't want it crammed right up against here. They wouldn't be able to see anything. And there's just not actually, once the MIDI is run and some of the extra stuff is run with these jacks, there's not going to be a heck of a lot of space in it. There might be a little bit left, but really it's pretty damn tight. And I mean, if you look at the switcher, it's right to the edge of the board here, and on this side butted right up against these guys, and then it's pretty crammed. So I feel like it's the most efficient use of space, and as far as switchers go, it's kind of the smallest full-featured switcher you can get. And beyond that, I just have a long association and relationship with Youngwood Musicom, and he's a great guy, and I'm just comfortable using his switchers. So that's really what it's all about. Almost done. The audio's almost all done, I think. And this little box right here is to convert 18 volt to 12 volt. That's for the switcher. It's coming out one of the outputs of the Friedman power supply, and they built this little box to just do the voltage conversion. Okay, so a lot of people are like, this thing's going to be really heavy. It's really not that heavy. You can pretty much carry it under one arm. What would you say it is about by itself?
30 some pounds?
Yeah. It's like, you know, the weight of a deluxe reverb, or maybe a little more.
Yeah. We can see the board all done. Cool. And maybe the bottom. A little picture of the bottom.
Yeah.
See all the stuff down there.
Pretty slick.
You got the buffer bay.
While we're here doing this,
we got a buffer bay, which is right here. Which didn't really get my finger in there, did we?
Yeah.
Right there. And we got a MIDI Solutions Quadra through box. distribute on the MIDI. We have two
power supplies.
power grid power supplies.
Yeah.
And the board. And then we have an SKB
What is this case?
injection molded case. The exact model escapes me at the moment.
So, Dragon foamed it here in LA.
And we have it, Dragon case foamed the inside of it. And as you see, it's foamed in and it has a little pocket below the board to put cables.
Do the loom and the expression pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the cables for expression pedal down there. Slips in like that.
Slips in like that. We can close it up.
So the case is about, what, 26 pounds, I think.
With foam or something, yes. So all in all...
Let's put it on the scale.
Okay, it's going on the scale.
It's going on the scale.
Put it on.
Scale says...
And we're gonna say...
64.
That's funny. It was 63.8 every time I did it.
Well, it's at a funny angle right now. So, questionable whether or not with the loom it'd be under 70, which is what it has to be for, you know, to fly technically. But you can always take the loom and throw it in something else if it's too heavy. Anyway, under 70 pounds, which is the weight limit for a lot of. If you fly business class, it's 70 pounds. If you fly a coach, it's 50 usually, but you can pay over. So it just depends how you're flying. You can pay the excess weight bag fee, but it's really not bad. It's like, I can pick this thing up, no problem. It's got rollers in the end, so you know.
It's got a big handle on the top you can roll out.
Do that. Pretty slick. And then of course in town, I'm only use this when I'm on the road. I mean, in town I'll just use the bag. You know, I carry it around that Friedman sells with the pedal boards. Okay, so now I gotta hook it up and program.
All right.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick, really informal run through of what I got going here. I've been working on presets for 2 days now. I've got a PT100 set up as well as a Hedgehog for stereo return. So I've got the PT and the Hedgehog in stereo. And normally I would have 2 PTs, but the Hedgehog's working fine as my effects return right now for the second side. And what I've had time to do is basically, because I got to go to Japan and play some gigs, is I've had time to program my main bank of 5 sounds, 5 straight up sort of stock presets that I like to always have. And then I've also done some individual song presets for individual tunes. So I'm just going to run you through the 5 main presets and then a couple of the other ones for now and kind of show you what I got going here. For my main kind of clean tone, that's bank 1, you know, patch 1, basically sounds like this. Okay, and that's a little bit of delay mixed in there from the DD500. It's a little bit of a stereo widening effect that I've got going on one of the H9s, which I like to have mainly for my in-ears. It's really cool. You can barely hear it. Here, check this out. I'm going to turn off the delay. This is without the widener, and this is with it. Okay, you probably can't hear it at all if you're listening on a phone or something like that, but check out if I turn the mix up on the stereo widener. Okay, basically what's going on there is it's a 35 millisecond delay and a 45 millisecond delay with no feedback, panned hard left and right. And so you can just blend it in a little bit into your guitar tone, and in the in-ears it just gives you a little bit of stereo image where your guitar is not so pinpointed, and it's great. And it sounds fine in the house and everything like that too. It just gives your guitar a little bit of depth without like obvious modulation or anything stereo going on. So I really dig the stereo widener thing. And I use that on a lot of patches. A lot of people ask me why I use 2 H9s. Well, that's one thing I'm doing a lot with it recently, is using one to just give my sound a little bit more space than it might have otherwise. Just gonna make sure the other camera's still going here because it's been acting up and shutting off. Okay, so the other things that I got going on this main clean patch are a hall reverb that I can switch on the other H9. It's a nice warm hall. Okay, and with the Boss delay on, I can blend it in via the expression pedal here.
or pull it out. Turn off the hall reverb so you can just hear the delay. Okay, so that's just a really nice delay, the echo that I can blend in there. So that's just kind of a basic clean sound. If I turn on the Mobius right now, I got a couple different sounds going on the Mobius in case I want this. Harmonic tremolo there, and also the swell effect. So if I want to hit the reverb, get some delay going, crank the delay way up. With the swell, and I can get some ambient stuff happening really quickly that way. Okay, let's move to the second preset here. So the second preset is kind of what I consider kind of a rock and roll sort of preset. You know, I might use it for something like that kind of thing. It's got a spring reverb on it that I can easily turn off if I want it dry. It's a little bit of echo happening right now. Tiyoshi's got a song in his set that sounds like this. Okay, so it's really nice for that type of just straight up rock and roll. And that is the Janray running in front of PT's channel 1. So I call this preset Edge. I've got a vibrato on here in case I want to do some like trippy, you know. Some kind of like, you know, beatly arpeggio thing or something like that. It's nice to have the vibrato. There's a tremolo. Okay, so this is kind of my old school sort of rock and roll thing. I also set up a slap back delay in case. So on the other preset within the 2 bank on the Boss here. Just gonna check the other camera one more time. Yes, it's still running. I've got a slap or a longer delay that I can easily access. Okay, so that's my kind of edgy rock and roll sound. My third sound here is the new Ethos pedal that is like supposed to be like a train wreck kind of, and I've got it set up to be basically try and mimic, excuse me, sort of a lower gain version of my PT100's channel 2. Okay, just kind of that tone. I'm still tweaking it and getting it dialed in, but it sounds pretty good to me where it is. The fourth preset here is switching over on my PT100 amp to channel 2. Kind of my main crunch rhythm sound, okay? So, the instant access switches here in the Musicom are all programmed to switch the PT via MIDI. You can easily get to those just like this. This switch, you'll see the red light is on. That means it's switched on, and it's switching the amp from the clean channel to channel 2. So per patch, if I want to get back over to the clean channel, I can easily do that. If I want to go to channel 3, I hit this switch. Turn on the boost, this one. Okay, so it's really, really easy. And then I can just get out back into my preset right here. I'm gonna tune really quick. I can tune a couple different ways on the pedal board by either hitting a mute on the Musicom, or I can just roll the volume pedal all the way back and the tuner is still fed. So I can either mute the whole signal or just roll this back. It's not completely silent when I roll this all the way back, but it's pretty damn quiet. Using the TC Polytune 2 works great. Okay, so that's my my main kind of dirty rhythm. I can turn on the EVH flanger if I want to, and do like it's not actually the EVH flanger, it's my EVH flange preset in the Mobius, but it sounds really cool. And then continuing kind of on that theme, since we were on that tune, if I want to do an echo in front of the amp, as many people used to, including Eddie and stuff, I've got the Echoplex, and it's in loop 8. So all I got to do is hit this, turn on the Echoplex. Right, without it. So I love having that echo in front of the amp. If I wanted to, I could turn on the phaser. It's the new Phase 95. Sounds really, really cool. I like it a whole lot. Okay, moving over to sound number 5 here, preset number 5. It's my lead tone. Now, I've got a little noise gate set on this because when I'm running the Rockaway Archer overdrive in front of the channel 3 in my amp with all that gain, it can get a little hissy. So the Rockaway Archer running right after it, I've got a little gate, and I can basically roll the volume up and it stays really, really quiet. It's a little bit of noise there, but it's just, yeah, it's pretty quiet. And then that's the freak out pedal. I can get feedback anytime I want with that, which is so cool. Really, really, really fun. Love having the freak out on here. So with that delay now, if I want to, once again, I forgot, I haven't actually set up the expression pedal to control this delay, but I got to do that. I want to be able to mix it in so I can get way more delay if I want. Once again, just still getting used to the Boss DD500. I set up a second echo here, which is supposed to be like an echoplex that kind of degrades and stuff. So if I want to, while I'm playing a lead, I could hit the second echo and get a real crazy long delay. Okay, just 2 more sounds here. Here's a couple extra presets that I've set up for a specific song. In one tune, I have to do kind of a swelling ambient thing that is just serves as a pad. So. Okay, I really love that sound. So what I'm doing there is the swell on the Mobius is controlling the swell. Without it, it still sounds really great for clean stuff. Turning on the swell just makes it really magical and fun to play with. Okay, and the main reverb that's happening there, because obviously there's a ton of reverb, is the black hole coming out of the H9, but I've also got the M300 from MXR. So the M300 is running in front of the amp, and the black hole is running in the loop of the amp, and you're getting this kind of double reverb. If I turn off the black hole, that's just the M300, which sounds really great as well. Turning on the black hole with it. It's just really dense and beautiful sounding. And what else am I using on this? A little bit of the Phase 90. I've also got the Ego compressor on in front, compressing a little bit. Okay, so that's that sound. Now coming out of this part, I actually have to play a solo that's kind of very Gilmore-esque. And so what I did was, using the Rockaway Archer, but with the gain all the way down, I can get kind of a bit of boost out of it, maybe a little bit of drive, but it's really just clean boost. And then I've got the EQ in kind of a frown, so I'm boosting the mids a little bit up, and that's just making the sound push a little bit more. And I'm using the Ego compressor for this, and I can get a really nice sustainy tone, but without overdrive. Okay, that's it. I got to pack up and go to Japan now. So when I come back in 3 weeks or a month or so, I'll put out another video, a third video in this series where I write a song using the board like I did with that other pedal board video in 2014, and just kind of try and really demonstrate every sound and effect. I'll know it better then. I'll be even more deep into it. But so far I love it. It's quiet. It works great. Thanks to Dave Friedman and the guys at Rack Systems for doing such a great job on it. And I will see you real soon. I'm Pete Thorn.